Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa. So today's recipe, I'm going to show you how to turn this amazing beef from this to that and finally that. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the mouthful crispy beef strips. So to start off, I got this amazing sirloin steak from Waitrose and it was like £4 in a pack. I was like, yeah, that would do. So to ensure that I get the meat in itself, I'm getting rid of any fat or any gristle that I see, but I'm not going to throw that away because I'm going to use it for something else. All I just need is just this strip of beef. So as you can see, I'm actually just cutting against the grain and just forming that beautiful strips as you can see here. Now the next step is to soak the beef strips in salty water. Now this would help the beef strips not to burn when I fry them later. Ideally, it would be great if you could do this overnight. But even if you soak it for 2 hours, a minimum of 2 hours, may I say, it's okay. But as I said, it's best to do it overnight. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And what it then does is the meat turns from this beautiful sort of reddish color to almost like a grayish color. Yes, then you know that your meat is ready for you to then continue your shenanigans. As I mentioned earlier, the meat pieces that are left on the side, the fatty bits and stuff, and then of course, I do not like waste. Of course, I've created this fragrant, sort of salted beef recipe, and I'm just waiting for it to be just perfect and just so, and then cook with it. Now, when it does pass the Ndudu test, I most certainly will upload that video and let you guys know. I can't wait. Of course, if you don't see it, then it means it didn't work. But anyway, so back to my beef strips. I've got it here now. It's just perfect. So I'm now going to be including my ingredients. So I'm going to start with my cornstarch. Now, cornstarch is readily available in most supermarkets across the UK. The next thing I'm going to add is my onion powder. Now this is readily available in most Asian grocers. And you can omit it all together without a doubt. And I'm also adding my freshly milled black peppercorns. To that I'm adding my salt to taste, as you do, because that's quite important, isn't it? Yes. But you have to be careful of the amount of salt you use. Then again, I'm infusing it with some amazing Sichuan pepper. Now this is optional, but I think it gives this dish that little je ne sais quoi. It's readily available online or in most supermarkets. And I'm adding my egg yolk, but do believe that it's one egg yolk, but of course I'm going to be adding the egg white. But I just want to mix this just perfectly first. I don't know why I did that, but yeah. Sometimes you just end up doing strange things. Yeah, I think this is one of those. Yeah, so you can actually just, crack one egg and just add to it. Don't have to do this. Why did I even do that? Anyway, back to business. So as I was saying, I think, I was mixing it and I was like, but why did I actually leave this out? I'm still moaning. Anyway, okay, back to it. So here we have the egg whites. Oh, I could have done this 10 minutes ago. Anyway, so I'm mixing everything together till it's well combined, as I always say. And I think that my shenanigans, it's just perfect. It just looks a bit weird right now, but yeah, trust me, the flavor, So at this stage, I'm going to, add some cornstarch to my bowl, as you can see here. And to that, I'm adding my onion powder and my milled black peppercorns. That's about it. And I'm going to mix everything together. Reason is I'm going to be tossing my beautiful beef strips in here. Yeah, because I want it crunchy. So I've done the first coating, and now this is where it's going to seal that coating to that meat. You see, it's somewhere our so as I need flour ke lune una I'm back together na am den chamba fe am ayifru una no nko he okpobere mo call la dada ma he we have flour na na ye la mata anu ka mo first ala la ji kwa flour a leader ma na ma ko he. What was I even talking about? I was just, just describing the whole essence, of tossing the beef strips in this lovely spiced cornstarch. It's just to seal the flavors and everything in. You seal, yeah. So at this stage, what you need to do is place your preferred oil in your saucepan on a medium to high heat. Yes, because we're going to be frying these bad boys later. Now, just so you know, you can use your fingers, but it can be really messy. So I prefer to use the ladle, and of course, I'm filming as well. So just ensure that each beef strip is actually rolled perfectly into the flour. So that yes, when you fry it, it means that it actually clumps onto the meat, definitely, and we end up with a beautiful crispy crust, because that's exactly what this whole dish is about. You see what I mean? So yeah, it looks like it's all clammy, but of course I keep tossing it until I have that beautiful individual strip. These beef strips are well and truly coated. Now my oil has been heating up for about 5 to 6 minutes. Now this oil is coconut oil, which I used in frying some vegetables before. And so yes, I like to reuse my oil. I use a couple of times before I discard it. And when I am discarding it, I do place it in a bottle and I dump it in the bin. And yes, that's the best way to do so. Anyway, so add your beef strips to it and just leave it for about 2 minutes to allow it to coat, for the coat to firm up around the beef. Don't be tempted to stir it immediately, add the beef to it. But you see, this is where I had the wahalo. Okay, so of course my saucepan, it's like on the smaller side. Yeah, absolutely. I should have used my wok. Because of course it's the coconut oil and you've also got the cornstarch. The reaction of that is all this extra bubbles coming through. So I was like, oh no, I have to actually, get the wok out. But I was like, no, I'm going to actually push this through. But this is what I was thinking. There's always been this saying that if you're boiling something and you just want to make sure that, it doesn't boil over, you place a ladle across it. So I was like, okay, I'm fine. Let me just try that. It might work or it might not work, you see. At this point, I was like, oh my God, is it going to happen? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? I mean, this is dangerous. So please, as I said, just use your wok. But it did work. And that's why I'm showing you. But then again, as I said, it's best to use your wok, which is wider. And yes, do take all necessary precautions when you're dealing with anything hot, particularly fire and oil as well. Yes. So this has been fried now for about 5 minutes and it just looks perfect. But I just needed it to brown, so I fried it for an extra 2 minutes. And there we have it. Look at that pierce, there's a stones. When you're doing kitchen and the thing fell. But I'm so glad it fell on the surface because I just picked it in my mouth. I did enjoy. And when they cook, you too for enjoy some. No be say like you cook then they sit down and they eat. And you for enjoy too. Yeah, that's how it's done. That's how we roll. And look at this. Look how well coated it is. It's just not any other food. Such an easy snack, an easy thing to make, Yeah, and I'm liking it. You can be creative with your spices and herbs, just go for it. Why not? Now I'm going to make some sauce to go with it. And this is like my yin yang sauce. So of course I'm adding some icing sugar to it. And then I'm adding some dark soy sauce. And which, the icing sugar and the dark soy sauce mixed together, it gives it that sort of balsamic vinegar that's been reduced, a bit kind of flavor. So yeah. And with that, I'm also adding some sesame oil. Now, this just takes the sauce to the next level because it's just beautiful. And sesame oil, you can readily get it available like in most supermarkets as well as online. Yeah. And then I'm adding some chili flakes. You can use your fresh chilies, not a problem. The chili flakes, the reason why I like it is because it just gives that residual heat. I'm adding that little extra, sesame oil for that taste, as you do. For that umami flavor, I'm just adding a few drops of fish sauce to it, which just takes the sauce to the other level. Then, of course, I'm sprinkling in some amazing sesame seeds. Of course, I'm going to be mixing everything together till it's well combined, as I always say. Is your mouth watering right now? This is the yin and yang, that Ndudu by Fafa, no mini. I'm just enjoying this. This is my favorite part, the beef strips. I'm just going to drench it in this beautiful dressing. And one thing is, it's just going to infuse into just that crust. So it just gives that little moisture, but it doesn't actually soak it to the point that it's soggy, no, because you fried it perfectly and it's crispy. Now this you need to do and serve it immediately. I'll tell you what, you are going to be addicted to it. It's so good. The textures, the flavors, the crunchiness, you're biting into that whole crunchy beef coming through. You've got that chili flakes and the sesame, and then you got the spring onions. I hope I have given you that reason to click the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. You know what I mean? And the notification button, which means that each time I do upload a video, you are notified of it. Now, naturally, I'll leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog, ndudu.fafa.blogspot.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Ndudu by Fafa. Do pass by and say hi. Until next time, you take care of you. Love yourself. Be your best, every day. No matter how difficult it is, put your best foot forward. And remember, this is life. There is no other rehearsal. We're living it just as we are now. Until next time, take care of you. Peace out. We love you.